All right, welcome to Learn TV's The Playbook. I am here with Jeremy Smith, head coach of Andrew Jackson Volunteer Football. Coach, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Talk about your message to the team on that tight game against Straw.
Yeah, obviously it didn't fall the way we wanted it to fall. We battled for the first, really for one of the first times all season. We felt like we battled for 4 quarters, and I was extremely. We had some players rightfully upset. But we were happy with the way they battled for 4 quarters. We were excited about it. We felt like we were in the game. We struggled some. We made a couple mistakes. We had a run into the kicker that pretty much led to a touchdown, and then some things here or there. But we played very well, and I was extremely happy and extremely excited about it. We got to clean those mistakes up. We still have a chance to control our own destiny as far as the playoffs go, and still reach some of those goals. And so I think our players understand that. I think our players, by the tone and the energy they've brought the past 2 days and this week, and we're excited about going forward. Just got to make sure we're cleaning up those mistakes and making sure that we keep bringing that intensity each week and that energy each week, because like I said, we still got a chance to really go and make our own destiny.
And talk about your offense, what you liked out of them, and what you think you still need to improve.
Yeah, we had spurts at times where we were able to drive the ball down the field, or we even had, I think it was a 12-play drive in the second quarter, and we didn't get many opportunities in the first half. We had, I think, 3 or 4 drives on it, and we didn't have many plays or many opportunities first half. But we've gotten to where we're driving down the field, and we're doing things in a positive way. We gotta be able to complete passes at a little bit higher percentage of making sure that we can keep extending drives, and we're not in third and mediums or third and longs trying to get a first down throwing the ball, but we can do it on our pace and when we want to. We got to keep improving offensive line. All year we've been playing with younger guys. We've been playing with 2 or 3 sophomores there, and we just need to make sure that offensive line wise we're finishing blocks, we're playing through the whistle, and have a little bit more intensity about ourselves so we can really get a good run game going. But it's just got to be consistent all the way down the field. We got to maybe create a little bit more explosive plays, but for the most part, we just got to be consistent, drive the ball down the field, don't hurt ourselves, and make sure that we're doing the best job we can to play through the whistle. That's everybody, and making sure that we give ourselves a good chance.
And defensively, I thought for the most part, you guys played fairly decently when you were able to prevent a big run on first down or 7 or 8 yards on first down. It seemed like you got out of those ones. So talk about your defense.
Yeah, we felt like Sherrall was a very good offensive team. They did a good job running the ball. They're a very good team, and going into the game, we saw that. I mean, they played very good teams, non-region, just like us, and they do a good job at what they do in their scheme, and they have a very good running back. Number 21's a very good player. We were almost that bend but don't break Friday night, and so we knew that it was going to be tough. They did some different things, and we gave them 1 or 2 chances on defense where we shouldn't have gave them, and they ended up resulting in scores. But besides that, they played lights out. They flew around. They tried, they did the best. They made tackles. We had 2 really touchdown saving tackles, just hustle plays from guys. One right before the half, and that we just kind of break down in our gap, and we had some players that we had Jace Fair and we had Cam McGill, both above 10 tackles, and we had some D linemen that stepped up that made more tackles than they usually, play better than they usually play. So I'm happy defensively. We got to fix some things, gap integrity stuff, but we played and we've been for the past, really the past 6 games, we've been playing fairly well defensively, and so we just got to keep that up and keep make sure these guys are flying around to the ball, but more or less their alignment, their gap integrity, just make sure we're doing a good job of that.
And I know on the broadcast there was a couple times where I said, this is where Andrew Jackson needs to come out and have a response after a score from Sherrall, and then you returned 2 of those kickoffs for touchdowns. So talk about your special teams and what you saw on them.
Yeah, obviously we had a really good night. I think Q Hall's return was about a 55-yard return for a touchdown, and then Demise had another touchdown return or a touchdown return on kickoff, and it was about an 80-yard return. So, we've been doing a pretty good job all year of return game, and I keep telling those guys we've almost broke a couple, and we've gotten some big gains out of our return game this year. We got some really good players back there, but when our players buy in to get on the right angles and staying on blocks, and in our return game, we could do something. So we did a good job with it. I was happy, obviously very happy with that. That kept us in the game, and that kept us alive, and kept us in a spot where we could possibly win the game. So we had one fumble or one kind of mess up on a punt return on a fumble, but we just misjudged the ball, and then it kind of put us in our own end zone on the 1 yard line, which is not a good situation or how you want to start a drive. And we ran into the kicker, and then we had one extra point. Guy was able to tip it, and so those are kind of the things that we struggled at, or kind of some of the mistakes that that were a struggle. But overall, we've been doing and getting better at special teams play, and making sure that we can either create a big play out of it, or just flip the field position. But I was happy with it. But just like offense and defense, we're going to keep getting better, and we're going to keep eliminating mistakes.
And I talk about responding, like you guys responded in the game after they would score, and then after a loss. Talk about how your guys have responded this week. You said they've been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I think our energy's been up. We had, and I said this last week, we had a really good practice or two last week, going into the region game, and it kind of showed. Like I said, we battled for the first time for 4 quarters. This week we are, we're back in the same spot. Our guys came in Monday, and they met the energy level. They at practice, they had a great session. They understand that, and like we said at the end of the game Friday, and what we've been discussing with them and talking with them about, they understand that it's very early in region play. They still control their own destiny. They still control what they want to be able to do. So they met it Monday. Yesterday was a pretty good day. So we've had some good days in our weight room. So we are, the energy's there. The intensity's there. We just, we talk all the time. This is a community that takes a lot of pride in their football team, takes a lot of pride in their athletics and their school and their community. We just got to represent them, and we've got to take that pride and that, care for our community and our school, and we just got to represent, our school in the best way we can, and play like we want. We're playing for those people that come and support us every week and show out. So those guys have, that's the message being brought to our guys. We just got to make sure that we can continue to keep the energy level up, and keep the intensity up in practice. And eventually, we feel, even though we've had some downs and some things that not go our way injury wise, we think we can still go in there and battle.
And talk about this week. You guys are on the road to Chesterfield. Another opportunity for you guys to get a region win.
Yeah, we are looking forward. Again, with the hurricane stuff and some of the things that happen in the upper state schools, I tell these guys all the time, don't take it for granted, especially obviously if you're a senior. Don't take any game for granted. Every game's a big game. The message this week has been 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Right? Let's play each play. Let's take each rep like it's the game-winning play. Let's play each play like that. And let's just, go into this week with that mentality. We just got to be 1-0. Chesterfield has a very good. They're very improved from where we saw them last year. They have, they've played very well through their non-region. They have offensive weapons, if you want to say that can hurt you. They got a very good running back, and their receiver and their scheme, what they do it pretty well. So we just gotta, we know we got to come out and like I said, just focus on us, focus on being 1-0, focus on playing each play.
All right, AJ fans, head on out on Friday night to Chesterfield High School, 7:30. See those Volunteers take on the Chesterfield, or the Golden Rams, right?
Yeah.
So, Coach, thanks for being on. Look forward to it, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for sticking with us. I'm here with Joe Watson, head coach of the Buford Yellow Jackets. Coach, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, talk about your message to your kids after the Central game.
It was real simple. We were done. It's over. It's behind us, and we're moving forward. And that's about it. We're not even going to watch it. And so, like I said, all of our efforts for this week are concentrating on us in the bye week, and then moving forward on Chesterfield next. So,
and when you have a game like that, it's tough to lose. But in the reality of things, you're not in a terrible place at 1-1 in your region, and I think that's something important to emphasize to your guys, right? That it was a bad loss, but it's just one loss.
Oh, 100%. I mean, everything that we want still in front of us. We're us and North Central are the only two teams that have played two region games now. Both of us are 1-1. And so, like I said, everything that our kids and our program want is still in front of us. We just have to go attack it.
And talk about your offense, what you saw in them, what you liked, what you want to see you improve.
Our basic thing is just working on us, just clean up the mistakes. There's a couple of times we not just a couple, but more than that. But Friday night we had some bust offensively, whether it be on the offensive line, whether it be a quarterback, whether it be a running back, wide receiver. So we just got to work cleaning us up. And I think this week comes at a great time for us, this bye week. So like I said, we're going to go back to working on us, working on fundamentals, making sure we're sound at what we do, and then we'll get ready to go prepare for Chesterfield next week and go get it.
And talk about the same with defense. Defense, when you give up a lot of points, sometimes you're like, oh, they were terrible, but that's not always the case of the game.
No, let's call it like it is. Central's a good football team, athletic, fast, hard-nosed. So they're going to take advantage of mistakes that you make, whether you don't fit a gap at linebacker or defensive line wise, you're running up the field in spots that you're supposed to be squeezing and sitting, getting beat over the top. So there's all kind of things that go into having that many points or giving up. So it's not just one thing.
And talk about your special teams, what you want to see improve with them.
Well, we're actually fortunate enough. I mean, I hate to give away trade secrets, but we had a fake punt I don't know if it was good or bad. It was good now because it worked, but we had the ball on I think it was a plus 45, and it's 4th and 11, and I called it. I just told Coach, I said, "Go, let's run it." And sure enough, Hawk Wilson, he caught it and got the first down for a plus 2 or 3 more than what we needed. And, heck, it worked. So, I looked like a hero there, but had it been stopped, everybody in the stands would have been yelling probably. So, but I mean, you have those things. But, special teams, I thought Christian kicked the ball well, kickoffs and punts. And, like I said, this week came at a good time for us.
And talk more about that going into a bye week. Sometimes you get bye weeks, sometimes too early or too late, and you can't get, the small corrections. Talk about having 2 weeks to get things right, how that really benefits the program.
Yeah, well, I mean, realistically going into the year, the bye week was set up the week we played North Central. So we were going to have the bye going into the region. And Coach Sis called me back in the summertime with some concerns about, their year-round school, and just asked if I'd do a favor because they had the same bye week set up. And so I went along with it. And, it wasn't – for me, it wasn't a big deal. So, again, we're fortunate enough we're getting one right now. Everybody else is playing 5 straight. So, we're going to really get down to basics and hammer those out this week and really, really concentrate on it and move on.
And what do you do on a Friday night that you don't have a game? Do you go watch another game, or do you just kind of hang out with your family since you don't get to do that very often on a Friday night?
Well, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, I'm an old school guy as far as I believe that you're supposed to go do things, but I'm gonna sit at home and take my wife to dinner because from probably June until whenever your season ends, you don't do that often. So I think my wife and I, and probably my kids, will go if they're not doing something else. But I know my wife and I will go do something Friday night.
Well, you're a smart man if you do that because happy wife, happy life. That's what they say, isn't it?
Absolutely. And she does. She's a great coach's wife, man. I mean, she understands the times and the restraints that we are placed under. And, so and she's there every Friday night. So,
Well, Coach, I know you guys don't have a game this weekend. Have fun taking out your wife and preparing for 2 weeks. Get those guys ready, and we'll talk to you next week about your prep for Chesterfield.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Go Jackets.
All right, thanks for staying with us. We're here with head coach Adam Hastings of Indialand, chilling outside, getting ready for practice. Coach, thanks for being here and talk about your message to your guys after the big win at Nation Ford.
Well, anytime you play Nations for a school that is so close to Indialand, and I think our student body is very accustomed to their student body. So anytime you face a team like that on the road, and you can go and take a commanding lead and then be able to battle back from a really explosive offense and take control in the second half, I think there's a lot to take from it. So I was really proud of their grit. I was really proud of I thought we played a pretty clean game for the most part, minus 4 or 5 plays. And I thought we did a really good job of kind of refocusing in the second half and not being pulled away from some of the mistakes that we were making, especially defensively in the first half. I thought we did a much better job of shoring those up in the second half.
All right, and talk about your offense, what you saw from them. I know you had many guys produce. Talk about them and how that really spurred on your victory.
Well, I thought we did a really good job of running the football. Jamal had over 125. We rushed for almost 300 as a group. And I thought that was really important for us because it just continued to build on what we've been trying to do all year, is not being overly more run or, trying to find some version of balance. And, for us, balance is not always being 50-50, but it's balance is being able to do what you need to do and in a way that's not predictable all the time. And so I was really proud of our ability to run the ball against a really good run defense. And I think that allowed us to have some opportunities in the air and allow us to really centralize and focus on what those opportunities were, win some one-on-one matchups. And, Matt, as a freshman, has just continued to play well, was 10 of 15 for, 210. He thought he did a great job with 4 touchdowns, great job distributing the ball, understood where to go, had checks, and I thought he did a really well. The ball 5 minutes to go, and we had a long drive in the football game, and I thought he just did a really good block, not being hurt, being a using the advantage, out and just run just to what he was seeing, and just showed a lot of maturity for a freshman.
All right, talk about your defense, what you saw to them and what you liked.
Yeah, I think in the first half, they had some really good players, and so I thought in the first half we did a real poor job of kind of tackling his face, and we allowed, especially, the receiver who's just been blowing it up this year to have a lot of success early. I thought the second half we kind of just continued just to. I thought the second half we did a much better job of tackling the space, IDing some of the sets they were in, and being in the right spot and just winning some plays that in the first half we didn't win. We had a couple opportunities in the second half or the first half that could have been real momentum changers that we just missed. Not not winning a one-on-one in space on a tackle, not finishing in what would have been a tackle for a loss on third down. And I think in the second half we did that. And a lot of credit goes to Sequel, having an interception in the first half, and then a really deciding interception in the third quarter, which I thought really took a lot of momentum out of their sails when they're driving to get across the 50. So I think those plays were really important for us and kind of building some momentum defensively.
All right, and talk about special teams. Special teams always sometimes forgotten, but we like to make sure they get their due.
Yeah, it's been good for us this year, especially the return game. I think Vaughn Lucas, Vaughn's had a return over the 50 in every game this year. He did again in this game. Amarion Davis had a big return to open the game up. And so those things have just been really, really, really good for us. It didn't have kickoffs. We didn't kick off the ball as well as we wanted to. Again, we had our backup kicker in who just did an amazing job. Really, really good job. But we just had a couple of issues with that. We didn't punt the ball tonight, which, could be a good thing. And then I was really proud of our defense. We were in a punt safe situation, and they sniffed out a potential fake and got a block on it, which I thought was again in the fourth quarter. I thought was kind of allowed us to go down and drive down a score and put the game away.
All right, and you guys have a home game coming up against Catawba Ridge, and I know that you're from the mountains and you have a lot of friends and family and things back there, and you guys are doing some disaster relief stuff. Talk about what you guys are doing and planned for this Friday night's game.
Yeah, so thanks, Troy, for bringing that up. And like you said, I am from the West. My wife and I are both from Western North Carolina, and for us, so many of the people that we know and people that we grew up with, and people are family and friends, or just people that we can identify with and know. It's kind of crazy that 2 hours away from us, you have people living in tents. I talked to a principal yesterday that she was like, if you could just find a school that could help raise tents, sleeping bags, and things like that. We have, hundreds of kids sleeping in makeshift places right now. And when you hear those and you know that those are people that, in places that you grew up with and you went to so much in your life, it really pulls on you. And hearing those stories, it really kind of got me to think, like, not only how can we give back, but how can we centralize our relief effort to make sure we're getting creating a partnership with the school long term. And it really came about by talking to the principal at Avery High School, who's talking about that they're just months away from ever going back to school. Like that they're not even thinking about school, that not thinking about sports. They're just trying to locate all their students, and they're trying to, just trying to piece together and provide support for all these families that have lost everything. So we're doing a long-term sister, kind of like a sister school project with Avery High School. Right now, we're going to meet their immediate needs, and then we're going to move into different phases that they have of the needs that they have. They have so many hundreds and hundreds of families that have lost absolutely everything. And so this week, right now, we're doing a raise at school from 9 to 3 and at the football game. We're gonna raise. You can bring in water, non-perishable foods, diapers, baby supplies. A lot of things that have been commonly taken up, and those are. I'm going to take those up next week to Avery, and those are going to be distributed to families of Avery High School and the communities around Avery County, which is the Newland, Linville, kind of back into Grandfather Mountain. So many places that so many people have been to, and this is a beautiful, beautiful place. So Banner Elk's included in that. So, and then we're going to continue as they go, and it's going to be in the 30s this week up there. So we're going to then move in the latter parts of trying to create, meet some of the needs they're going to have in the winter. And just try to make sure that they understand that there are people, not too far away from them that care about them, are thinking about them, and are here to support them past what they may be getting from other entities.
Awesome. That sounds great, Coach. Seems funny to talk about football, at a time when you have people not that far away that are struggling, but hence it is here. You got a football game coming up.
Yeah, and that's Troy, that's where it started from. So originally it was, one of the Carolina Panthers played for me, and so originally when I saw it, I was calling Avery to be like, "Hey, do you want me to reach out to the Panthers to see, what we can do to support you for football wise, and what can we as a school provide. Like my family has a home up in Avery County, and so we're up there all the time. And where I'm from is about 30 minutes from Avery County, and so it was like, man, what can we do to help you for football? And the principal was like, I'm thinking about football, and that was like the one, like I need to reframe the thought process. And it's just been something that's been really heavy on my heart, and I know our community's heart. I know so many others, and there's so many other great ways to give that give support, and just our idea is just not support now, but support throughout the year.
All right. And you know what? We're not going to talk too much about Catawba Ridge because I want to stop with our focus on your relief effort. So all those people coming out to planning to go to Indialand and see the Warriors play, they're going to play Catawba Ridge on Friday night. But when you're heading out there, see what you can bring, see what you can do to help out. And maybe I'm sure they'll have somewhere if you can donate financially or something like that, that Coach Hastings will make sure he can find a way to make sure that money is used in the right way.
Yeah. So on our website and through our Touchdown Club, we have worked with them. And so anybody that wants to contribute, they have, you can give directly to the Avery County Fire Department. And that's who's directing their emergency services. So anything that's given financially or monetary wise can be given to the Avery County Fire Department, and there's two people kind of managing that. The church, a church there that's kind of doing the meeting the needs of people that they can go to in Avery County, and the fire department. So, in talking to her, that's their principal. She was like, "This is the people that are really doing the most about meeting immediate needs." So, we have ways to give. On our website, there's a list of what can give. So many things that for us is a click away on our phone, and it's there. Then tomorrow, for them, it's they don't have that ability. So anything they can bring in the game is greatly appreciated.
Awesome, Coach. Well, good luck against Catawba Ridge. Thank you for what you're doing to help those around you and your teammates and those out in the mountains. And we'll talk again soon.
Great. Thanks, Troy.